Hello folks, and welcome to my daily analysis. Today it's going to be really a quick one, and just to announce that I'm not going to provide any analysis tomorrow. I'm not going to stream tomorrow. My dad is not doing well at the moment. Absolutely not well. He is 80 years old, and yeah, not looking great at the moment. So. But I know, and it's part of my responsibility. I know that many of you are waiting for my analysis to have the market overview, and so let us start to make a quick analysis what's happening at the moment, and yeah, let us just start. Wealth ratio 30 days moving average is still maintaining its trend, so it's really just looking like these guys are planning the next big price move, in my opinion, and doesn't usually it's not bullish when the wealth ratio 30 days moving average lifts up. So in my opinion, we should be very careful. At the moment we are maintaining at 19,355. I can just a little teaser. We have a gamma wall at 19,250, so indicating we have a support area there, and we have at 20k a huge call wall, indicating and that's why we bounced there. It was, for me at least, related to trading, a very nice day, to be honest, because I was even hedging to the upside, and then I closed my long and shorted almost at 19,800, a little bit higher, so it was absolutely great. However, what is happening here and why I'm still expecting we will go a little bit more up with the wealth ratio 30 hours moving average, because I see we are maintaining, even we are not touching 100% anymore. That was very common, for example, in June. It's not happening. However, the wealth ratio 30 hours moving average is indicating and hitting the 90. And the 90 is always the critical level. Above of 90, a huge sell pressure will be initiated, and so we need to be extremely careful for this weekend then. Stablecoin supply declined even more, much more, while we had this volatile price move. Now at the moment lifting up a little bit, and the stablecoin reserves on centralized exchanges, you can see, I mean, we were here, declined, lifted up a little bit, and lifting up, but not really indicating that we are receiving a lot of stablecoins, indicating we will have a big pump. I mean, weekends is always, like Forrest Gump would say, just a box of candies. So we don't know what's going to happen with low volume. Maybe nothing, just to maintain the CME close for today. Maybe they will shake out over the weekend, and then Sunday just to go back to the CME Friday close level. We don't know yet, and that's too early. We will see if we can figure out some expectations. And let us go forward. So flow activity, a lot happened, really a lot happened. It looks like very huge, at least on stablecoins, but it's not. So if we disable the stablecoins, we can see that we have received, at least yesterday night, or at least yesterday, we have received a lot of bitcoins, but we also can see here bigger outflows as well. So also indicating here at the moment, if we show the net flow right now, indicating here it's going down. So while they are right now distributing, that's why the price is declining. or at least I would say here the most interesting part is they withdraw the bitcoins here. So usually that means they were starting to distribute here. They took their bitcoins then here. That was today in the morning, and afterwards we received even more bitcoins. For example, here that was a few hours ago 2,300 bitcoins. Then an hour later 500, another 1,300 bitcoins, and another 1,000 bitcoins now. So indicating in the last 2 hours another 2,300 bitcoins. While we are also here, for example, 3,200 bitcoins outflow in the last 2 hours. So it means we have another distribution, and of course someone is buying. That's always the case, otherwise the price would crash. And yeah, that's what we see. If I just activate stablecoins, and maybe I don't know why it's taking that long. Nothing, really nothing. We are not even talking about, well, that's almost 4 millions here. The biggest today was here with 5,800,000. That's absolutely nothing, peanuts. While we have almost the same amount in outflow. So also here indicating they are taking profit, they are selling, and yeah, that's what's happening at the moment. So also here absolutely nothing big, to be honest, but we don't know how much bitcoins there are still on centralized exchanges waiting. So I would be extremely careful this weekend, to be honest. I don't have any special expectation, but I don't know. I don't like that. So we will see how Bitcoin CME is going to close its session today, and I guess tonight nothing will happen, and maybe even tomorrow nothing will happen. But we know that Saturday to Sunday is usually the most exciting day over the weekend. Let us go forward. So futures, at least we can see that we have received a lot of stablecoins. I need to check. Almost 170 millions here, so we are coming back to bigger inflows. Also here 218 millions, and if we check that afterwards, both were while the funding rate lifted up. So we can check that, for example, here afterwards up, and then here afterwards up. So not sure if that's indicating that these guys are longing, at least based on the funding rate. Could be. If we check the funding rate in general, or these indicators here, we can see that funding rate lifted up very much, declined a little bit, now lifting up once again, indicating we retraced after yesterday push up, but they are still expecting we will go up much more. As mentioned, gamma wall indicating 20k. So if we want to cross 20k, we need volume. We need more, brave bulls to push up. Otherwise, we will go up to 20k, maintain there. But it seems that's the new rule, and that's why even it declined here a lot after the price action. The estimated leverage ratio did that move, and it's declining at the moment. However, if we check, for example, the open interest did something similar, but much more lower. Also here indicating they are still using higher leverage, and it seems they use this maybe higher leverage just because the meantime we are not doing big steps to the upside or to the downside. That's why I'm hedging all the time, because usually I mean, yesterday was a very volatile day, but usually we make sideways runs, or at least so it makes sense to use then a higher leverage, even if it's a big risk that exchanges can liquidate you, you know, just pushing up very hard or down. Related to Bitcoins and derivative exchanges, not happening anything. So really very low, is still maximum 2,400 Bitcoin. Yesterday at least we had 3,400 where I was yelling, yeah, the volume is coming back, but it seems at least related to stablecoins, yes, but not related to Bitcoins, at least not big. However, I think that many of these Bitcoins here are coming from entities because they are reducing their balances more and more and more, still not accumulating. They are just making money, buying the dip, selling at higher price, and in my opinion, to dump even more. From the 60,000 Bitcoins they raised in their balances, they reduced afterwards 30. So we still have 30,000 Bitcoins on the table, and it seems they are still not in mood to nuke or something, so they are distributing, making money in my opinion. As you see, that's the aggregated leverage ratio. It's very close to its all-time high, while the open interest is maintaining its level and even the funding rate maintains neutral. However, yesterday, if we go to the 1 hour time frame, they also liquidated a lot. Of course, longs 1,467 here, and a few hours later another 600 Bitcoins. And then they started to liquidate some shorts, late shorts, for example 480 here. Then a few hours later another 350, because many were expecting we will go down directly afterwards, and I mentioned many times in the past that's what they are doing. If they see shorts are coming in, they push up. When you think, okay, it's done, we will retrace, they push even more up. And then you say, okay, that's it, now I can short, they push another time. So that's what they do. They go one up, one big, just to create some, you know, because the people have this pattern. Also here I have one. Don't feel comfortable with any kind of level, because they will do exactly that. We go up very hard. Okay, afterwards we will go down. Then they do another leg up very hard to liquidate those late shorts. And that's what they did with the last big one. I mean, everyone was feeling very bearish here, indicating, okay, 19,400, we will go down afterwards. To be honest, I was expecting 19,500 yesterday as well as the local top. But then in the night, they used the opportunity with low volume to push up even more to liquidate all these shorts. In my opinion, that wasn't a whale, but that's another thing. We know who has a big interest. They liquidated 1,855 Bitcoins in shorts. That's the first time. I mean, we can check that. The last time they did that, that was not even that much, was here 1,400 Bitcoin. So they liquidated a lot of shorts yesterday in one single candle, in one single hour. And well, right now they are liquidating more longs, of course, but also here nothing big at the moment. So in my opinion, a big move will happen. I'm convinced it will happen, but at the moment it's still unclear up or down for me. Even I'm bearish. I'm still bearish, much more than bullish, to be honest. But however, we need to be extremely careful here. We see open interest and leverage ratio right now, because I need just really to zoom out. If I go to the daily, we will see the big gap between the leverage ratio and the open interest, indicating using less volume but more leverage. And that's Binance, and we see on Binance that they are just, you know, they demanded more longs, then more shorts, then more longs. That's what they are demanding right now. While leverage ratio and open interest, at least once again on Binance, looking healthy. well, healthy. Still too high on leverage ratio, but not a big gap like, for example, in the aggregated one. That was today, few hours ago. If we refresh the site now, wow, people indicating here, yeah, we have received almost 200 millions in shorts since yesterday, and we have reduced a little bit of longs, but still too high. And I will be extremely careful, but in my opinion, we will go down. In my opinion, we will go down. I'm not sure yet if we will do it this weekend, but I will be extremely careful. And once again, on Ethereum, looking much more healthy. Come on. Jesus, Kingfisher, come on now. So let us make a quick analysis here related to Kingfisher. Okay, great. Yeah, so we have two interesting parts. The first part here, even the volume, we don't have 100 millions anymore. We just have 60 millions here indicating. So in my opinion, that would be a very interesting scenario. Go up to 20k where we have a gamma wall, and then go down back to what is that, 19,140 or 19,200. So where the next gamma wall is, we have a support and a resistance area. So it's absolutely possible that we will liquidate those both. In my opinion, maybe first this one and then go down once again. So it's not that big, $700 up and then almost $800 down. Something we need to consider as a potential scenario for the weekend. So let us see if here the structure is similar to FTX. It takes a little bit, as usual. Okay. Yeah, it looks very similar. We have exactly the same here on FTX. We don't need even to go to 19,100. So there where the gamma wall is, they would liquidate this part. They could liquidate this part, at least this part. No, yeah, this part. So without any problem. So I think we can, this part here should be in danger. And they will try to liquidate them, in my opinion. So nice if you want to trade the swing, to be honest, but always be careful, and that's why I'm hedging. Much less volume in liquidations, as you can see. We had 1,800, now 1,200, so declining. And these two here are not matching to the structure of Binance. This one looks extremely accurate and this one not, indicating on FTX is someone that wants to push up the price, or at least it's longing more. Okay, that's it. Let us go forward. Oh, my subscription is okay. Why is my subscription done? Oh, that's not cool. That's absolutely not cool. However, the Gamma works also without any paid subscription. And what we see is here concentration of puts and here concentration of calls. So we have here the big concentration, 19K. So we can go even down to 19K. So 19K should work as a magnet and support area at the moment. And we have at 20K the resistance area. So it's also very interesting. If we break the 19K, something I will doubt, but it's possible with low volume, the next support area would be at 18 or 17. The same here, 20, 21, 22. In my opinion, if and I think that will maintain the gamma walls, will should see a potential, and that's another scenario that matches very well to what we have seen in the liquidation map, to see a price that moves between 19k and 20k. Only if they really want to, if the entity is going to nuke this weekend, I would expect some detection of fund flows related to the entity, and I will tweet about that. So even I'm not going to provide any analysis tomorrow, I will tweet. Maybe only from my mobile phone, but I will try my best. However, I will check this data. At the moment, it looks very solid between 19 and 20. Everything above, maximum 21 or minimum 18 at the moment, because we have even support resistance area 22 and in 17, but both are not that big. So in my opinion, that looks extremely good between 19 and 20, to be honest. And the gags, I can't tell you. It's 1 week's tax, so if I want 2 weeks, I need to pay for it. $50, to be honest. I don't know. I need to think about that if I'm going to do it. But yeah, it looks, at least in 1 week view, it looks we are still too high and we can dump even more. But I love to use the 6-month view. So let us check here. We have bear diagonal spread, that's bearish. We have bear call spread, it's bearish, and we have long strangle, that's neutral. It's just volatility. So only those three: long strangle, so do we have one with big volume? Yeah, well, it's not that big, but big enough. Okay. So the long strangle is a trade where the trader is expecting a sharp price move until end of October. And he is expecting a price below of 19k or above of 21k. So that's his bet, and almost consistent. Even here below 18k, and that's big with 40k, at least compared to the other trade strategies. It seems it's one person. He's, in my opinion, a little bit more bearish than bullish, indicating he would expect a price below of 18 or above of 21. That's what he is mentioning here. So yeah, I mean, that's why we have the gamma walls at 21 and 18 as well, right? So let us go forward. That was long strangle. A bear call spread is even the bigger one, and the bear call spread is a bearish strategy. And we need to see here the date. For example, that was today in the morning. So where they were expecting a price below of 19.5 before the expiry. Expiry was today, 9 a.m. Let me check. 9 a.m. Okay, that maybe explains why we had a 9 a.m. maybe the dump from 19.8 or the falling price action to 19,577, at least on Bitget, because someone just wanted to take profit, it seems, because we had the expiry as well. And everything else, if we take a look, for example, here, let us check. I mean, it wasn't that big. The biggest one is here. That's a really big one, but that's for next year. They are expecting for end of March to see a price below of 38k, and I say thank you very much. I think you are absolutely right. Also, my expectations for the first half of 2023 are not that big, so I wouldn't be that bullish. I mean, altcoins will explode, but I wouldn't be that bullish related to see prices like maybe a new all-time high. In my opinion, that's not going to happen. So yeah, and bear diagonal with puts, that's here two big ones, and let me check. So it looks like they are making a bet here, indicating they are expecting to see in November a price below 15K. So that could be the bottom for 2022 in case that happens in November. As you know, I flipped. At least my scenario was from November on just to go up, but I think it's going to be in December. In December, where we start to go up even more. In case, so without to have any kind of different black swan events, because we have different scenarios where black swan could play out, and not only on geopolitical level, but also on economical and so on and so forth. And some of them are directly linked, of course. So that's it. That's absolutely it. Doesn't look that bullish. Maybe a little bit more neutral than yesterday related to options, but still looking, relatively bearish. Let us check if they are going to go now to 19K with the price. We should bounce there because of the gamma wall. If we maintain there, we need to be careful, because if they want to break it, we will go down to 18. And that's it. Let us go forward. So what happened? FTX, I mean, they distributed all the time. You remember, they were distributing, then they started to lift up, not big at all, absolutely not, and now distributing. So indicating it will match that we will go down to 19K, maintain there, and at certain point to go down hitting 18K if they want to do it. So in that case, as we have the gamma wall there, they really need to push hard, very hard, but the entity has loaded his gun, so it's possible. On Binance, as you see, they both also here not that huge what they did, but they are not distributing yet. That's really crazy. It looks completely different to what FTX did. So FTX just let me see. Look, it looks really different. So Bitfinex using once again the opportunity. They didn't both big last time, but just here pump and dump, for example. So they both here, and then they sold just Tiger, and that's it. They are also distributing, and even Coinbase. That's wondering me, but it looks like, yeah, even Coinbase is distributing at the moment. So also doesn't look very bullish, to be honest. I would be extremely careful here. I'm still waiting for the CME report of this week, because the last one was October 4th. That was Tuesday. So the next one should then come out last Tuesday, maybe next Tuesday. I'm not sure if it's every 2 weeks, but hedge funds were buying shorts and selling longs. So also here indicating they are making a big bet against Bitcoin once again, and we know that these guys are really accurate. So entities, retailers lifting up, and here, well, declining a little bit, but nothing big. These guys lifting up, these guys lifting up. They love the dip to sell afterwards. So it wouldn't, if we go up to 21K, these guys will absolutely sell them. Market maker, as mentioned, they raised their balances by 60,000, reduce already 30. So we still have 30k there. The question is, are these guys going to use this 30k, or that's it? You know, I mean, if they are going to reduce 30k over the weekend, I would go big short, because and these guys are lifting up. So many of them, 80% almost, linked to centralized exchanges like Bitfinex, Binance, and so on and so forth. So when you see the balances are lifting up, that's potentially indicating that their balances of hot wallets and cold wallets of centralized exchanges are just rising. I need to refresh this site. It takes just a little bit just to see, but it's delayed by 2 hours. I don't know why. However, I have said when I saw these bitcoins, we need to be extremely careful, because it's not the first time they do that. They send bitcoins to spot, wait, top, sell. That's what they do. At least we can see here that the Bitcoin reserves on centralized exchanges are not lifting up. At least we are receiving also outflows, and it's maintaining, it's not declining. It lifted up, they sold them, and now it's maintaining. But since here we have still a gap of 10,000 while we had a lot of outflows, so it means we still have a lot of bitcoins accumulated on centralized exchanges, waiting for what? We know for what. So derivative exchanges looking like, wow, crazy, because everything is down here. Yeah, what should I say? I mean, the trend is absolutely crazy for exchanges, looking extremely bad. Miners don't care. And wow, look at that. I mean, the price is right now in the hands of OTC. I have mentioned many times that OTCs looks very bearish. I don't know why exactly. OTCs like Genesis, it seems they are selling. While, and that's the activity, once again, zero. You remember? I mean, we had zero just a few days ago, and that was just for a half hour or something. Where was that? I think that was here. That was October 9th, so 5 days ago. And now, since, wow, I mean, is that, let me recheck that, because that's crazy. No, okay, that was, I was a little bit, it was looking very scary to because that would mean no fund flows related to centralized exchanges. Almost they are dead. You know, that would be extremely. But however, we can see here that's green. It's Coinbase, and Coinbase fund flow here in the top. Someone sent, it seems, bitcoins to Coinbase to dump afterwards, and also Gemini now part of it, and so on and so forth. So yeah, okay, that looks now much better than the flat line. Yeah, that's it. So what's happening here? We have, as you can see, they absorb this buy order and went up afterwards, and I guess they are going to look for the 18k. That's my personal opinion. If that's going to happen this weekend, I don't know, but it looks, at the moment, it really looks like they are looking for more buy orders. That's not bullish at all, but it seems they are really trying to distribute and looking for buy orders at the moment. So Coinbase here waiting at 18.5, and even here at 18. They also have here some sell orders, but not really clear if they are spoofing or what kind. But as you see, they reinforced even here at 16K, for example. So we need to be extremely careful. It wouldn't be the first time. I think in June with the big nuke that also started on weekends, we need to be extremely careful. So that's why I'm hatching once again. I mean, only if I see, for example, it looks solid and we will bounce, I close usually my hatch and push all my funds to the other position. But for the weekend, if we are going to make a swing, okay, fine, but I will not stop to hedge because I don't trust the weekends anyway. Deribit is still here at almost 20k and 20,300, limiting the way up. Even they reduced the volume. Bitstamp also here still waiting between 20,500 and 21,000. Also waiting here at 18.3, but the biggest one here close to the price is at 18k. And as you can see, they are not removing all the liquidity here, so they are still expecting a big price move to the downside. In my opinion, it's going to happen end of October, maybe in the beginning of November, because we will have interest rate decision then. And in my opinion, 75 bps to 100 bps are on the table. 75 bps are almost priced in already, but 100 bps not yet, at least. So Binance, what's happening on Binance? Also here, absolutely not removing liquidity. Instead, still adding more liquidity to the downside to prices that, in my opinion, are utopic, because 14, 13, and so on and so forth. The big volume, I mean, if we see the density of volume starts at 18,350 to 17.5. That would be a double bottom retest of our current bottom, and then up. That would be cool. To the upside, 20,000, and so on and so forth. So you can see what they did. It was also for me very clear. They don't want to let the price go up and match very well to the gamma wall. So it was a very easy trade today. That doesn't happen. That was really obvious. Bitfinex right now, as you see, they are okay. That's big here with 360. Oh, that's really big. Bitfinex don't want to let the price go down below 19,200 at the moment. That's really interesting. While they have here, if we reduce a little bit more the volume, look what they are doing. That's also very interesting. While they still have at 21k a big sell order, well, big relatively, and they removed at 20,700. So very interesting what Bitfinex is doing here, that spot. But at the moment they are really trying, and 300 bitcoins on Bitfinex, that's a lot. FTX perp, look, they removed a lot of short orders. Now we still have some between 20,000 and 20,500, but afterwards they removed them. That's really interesting. Also something we need to be careful. And a long position, and that's the only one big below the current price, it's at 17.8. That looks interesting, FTX. That looks very, very interesting. OKEX, nothing. Kraken, also waiting at 18k and a lot of liquidity to the downside, while, like FTX, perp reduced to the upside. BitMEX, nothing. Binance Futures, Still looking here. Look how much short positions waiting here. Much more than to the downside. But also he had 18.5 waiting with the long one, and 18, but 18 is not that big. Bitfinex derivatives. We have here, but nothing big, really not. Kraken futures, nothing. OKEX futures, waiting at 17.2 and 16.6. Removed the short at 22. And if the export, also he indicating much more to the upside. So they really want at the moment to distribute. They want to sell. They want to sell at the moment, limiting at 19,130. And that's it. They placed a new wall at 14,000. So something is in the air. Something is in the air, and we are coming closer and closer and closer and closer. That's it. So what happened here? First of all, we can see they really tried that. You remember I have said yesterday, if bulls want to be brave, they need to push hard to the upside. They did it, but overnight, when the volume was low. That's what they did. I mean, that was, in my opinion, I can't prove that. So it's my personal opinion. Of course, in my opinion, that was a classic move by exchanges to liquidate late shots, and they did it very well because they did with this only candle. They did a big liquidation related to shots we haven't seen since a long time. But however, what we see is that's a long-term trend line. They needed to push up because they knew that many people were expect they will be rejected here. So they used the opportunity overnight with low volume just to push up very hard. But then they started to, like a pump and dump game, they just pushed up very hard, then they start to distribute, went down, pushed up once again to liquidate late shorts, and then they started to let the price decline. Once again, the red box indicating, and that's 20k, indicating that was the top. So at the moment we are maintaining here. In my opinion, the next step should be at 19,100, where Bitfinex is waiting, where FTX is waiting, just because we have the main POC there, as you can see here. So we will go down a little bit more, we will maintain there, and then we need to see what the weekend is going to bring us. At the moment, that's what we see. They did a nice retest. It was looking very good, and that was the bull trap. This single blue candle, green candle, was at least a bull trap, because after the retest, even I thought, oh, they will liquidate you. No, at least your short position, my head short, but it didn't happen. So that was really a bull trap. Afterwards, they started to decline. Okay. Yeah. So what would be my expectation? My expectation, still looking more to the bearish side, to be honest. So I think once again bulls just didn't play out their opportunity. So in my opinion, we will go down and 18k. So at 19k, we have a 19k a gamma wall. So we will maintain there, and we will see then if these guys are really going just to push the price down that hard, so that we can break this structure here. I mean, we had the structure here, you know, we had here, for example, a whole structure even here, and that's why we have this POC. So in my opinion, we should go a little bit more down, and maintain here, play a little bit, and then go down, and then finally go back to 18k. And then we need to see what's going to happen, because if they really want to make such a operation over the weekend, it should be relatively quick. Only if they want to create a gap, of course, a CME gap will be also possible. But at 18K, push a little bit more hard, retest that area, maintain there, and then up. That would be perfect. But to be honest, checking what we have seen related to options, I'm not sure if 17.6 is going to be the bottom of 2022, because at least also big money is expecting to see for November, even, I don't know why, but a scenario that could be very bearish, and they are even expecting a price below 15K. 15K is on the table since a while. Of course, we know why if we check the chart, but you are not going to spend millions in 15K if you don't think that's a potential next step for November. So I would be extremely careful with the expectations, only in case I was right and we will go to 17.6 to expect, okay, that's it, now up only. I will be extremely careful. At least I'm going to play very, very safe because of that. I really don't think that, yeah, even, 17.6 was just because, in my mind, just because I think that next year, after the exit rally or relief rally, or however you want to call it, what we will see from December on will bring a lot more blood to the streets. And if we are going to make 15K this year, I don't know what we should expect for next year and 2024. But we have an alternative scenario, because they mentioned I need my mobile phone is getting low. Sorry. Okay. So the whole thing is potentially, in my opinion, we will see much more to see the price to go in that direction, because they are distributing, they are not accumulating, their entity is reducing its balance. Usually that's extremely bearish, and I would be extremely careful. And however, it's weekend, we need to see what's going to happen this weekend. We can check just for next week, for example, the economy calendar. And if I check that, we will have for next Wednesday Euro CPI. Okay, it's fine, but not that big. However, Thursday could be interesting, but in my opinion, it's not going to have any huge impact to the price action. We will have initial jobless claims that could be a nice trend indicator about the unemployment rate. Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Index could be also very interesting, and existing home sales. But existing home sales, I mean, we know that I know that the real estate markets are looking extremely weak at the moment. So I don't think that could make anything, to be honest. And yeah, so that's it for today. I'm so sorry. I just have my brain. It was just a doctor who called me, and yeah, my dad is now in the ambulance, and so on and so forth. So a little bit today, a little bit chaotic everything. I'm so sorry for that, but I'm just going to take off tomorrow. If I have the opportunity, I will trade. It's a community spirit thing. So be careful this weekend, really careful. I don't know. I mean, I was expecting a price move last week. Nothing happened. They can surprise us. We need to be extremely careful. Many people feel very comfortable at 19K, something I would, once again, I would warn, don't feel comfortable with any price action or with any price level. Absolutely not. Big love. See you maybe tomorrow. Otherwise, Monday for sure. Big love. Your Inspo.